Hi everyone, this is Eric here with a review on the E55 by Eachine. This is their little foldable pocket drone. I'm going to show you a video from the actual drone. I'm going to film the drone so you can see how this thing flies, and then I'll also show you the setup process to get this working FPV through your cell phone. So if you guys want to skip forward to the flight footage, you can just go right there. And I'm going to do a quick unboxing and show you what this quadcopter is all about. So you get quite a bit of bells and whistles with this thing. I mean, you get the foldable arms, altitude hold, photo, video, one key return or one key takeoff, one key landing, headless mode, 3D flips, and speed control. So this thing is pretty robust for a toy grade quadcopter. And what I found really unique, and this is the only one that I know of that exists, that is an actual toy grade quadcopter that has not only the folding arms, but also the folding blades. Really the only other quadcopter that I know is the Mavic, and that is definitely a very high quality hobby grade quadcopter. But just look how tiny this thing is. I mean, you can fit this in the palm of your hand. This can easily go in your pocket. It's just so compact. Really cool design, nice paint job. It's kind of like a matte red with just a little bit of shine to it. So let's go ahead and pull out the arms, show you how this thing comes out. So as you can see here, the blades are free to spin. So this is actually going to reduce the damage done. I've noticed when I've crashed this thing, when it crashes, the blade or the arms just kind of go back into the body instead of putting a lot of stress on the arm and causing cracking and damaging. So you just pull them out really easily and you're ready to go. And the kit does come with extra blades, so if you do chip those, and right here is your USB charger. And then underneath you have your battery compartment. It comes with a 300 milliamp hour LiPo. The great thing about this quadcopter is that the batteries are replaceable. They're very easy to just swap out of there. So if you want to get more than just one flight before you have to recharge it, you can buy replaceable batteries, which are pretty affordable. I included a link in the description down below where you can get some extra batteries for this thing. Okay, and then the instructions are actually really well put together. Usually sometimes on these toy quadcopters they're kind of hard to read and understand, but you know, these are all in color, well written, easy to understand. And then you have your little tiny remote, which you're going to put in three AAA batteries. And then back here you have your the mount for your phone. So this is just going to slide right in there. And for the review, what I did is I used a pretty good size Note 5 and it fit no problem. So what you do is you slide it up, it's spring loaded, and it fits in there just like that, no problem. There's quite a few buttons on here. So if you guys want to pause the video, instead of just listening to the whole thing, you can just pause it right now, check out that image, and it'll go over all the different buttons and what they do. If you guys do have any questions about anything about this quadcopter, please leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to get back to everyone. So another kind of interesting thing about this quadcopter is they put the functionality of the whole startup mode that you usually find on the hobby grade quadcopters. And what that means is the blades are going to spin up, but the quadcopter is not going to take off. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So plug in your battery. Let's go ahead and hold the button down for about 3 seconds on the quadcopter. You'll see your lights start blinking. Flip on your remote. You're gonna hear some beeps. Bring your throttle up, down, and you're gonna hear another beep. And now if you notice, your lights are solid and it's ready to go. So what's cool about this is usually the hobby grade quadcopters have this safety function where, you know, if you hit the throttle, it's not gonna do anything. So if you accidentally bump it, you're not gonna get your hands chopped. To start this thing up, you actually have to press your X button over here. It's gonna spin up the blades, and now you're ready to fly. Another unique feature about this one is if you look at the motors are actually sideways right here. They're gear-driven motors, they're gear-driven blades. So your motor is facing out, and then it's going to spin a blade or spin a gear to turn the propellers. Kind of a really neat design for a little hobby grade quadcopter. I've reviewed other foldable drones in the past, and this is just a little toy grade one where the arms pop out. And most quadcopters you'll see will have the motors just direct drive into the actual propeller. So they're just gonna face up like that. But this one, kind of a cool design, they're sideways. So when you do tuck it in, it just adds a lot of compactness to this design. This does come with headless mode. So if you do wanna put it in headless mode, just make sure you have your control facing the same direction the entire time. And then when you have headless mode, no matter which way the quadcopter is facing, if you press forward, the quadcopter is going forward, back. And this thing also has altitude hold. So it's gonna measure the pressure of the air. It's gonna do a pretty good job. It might vary between 1 foot up and down. But if you start going forward, you're gonna have to match that with some throttle, because anytime you go forward, it's going to take some of that energy, that forward energy, and it's gonna lose its altitude. So just keep that in mind if you do rely on that altitude hold. And if you look in here, your camera is right in the front. It's kind of hard to see. It's just a little standard definition camera, really nothing special. But let's go ahead and set that up with the phone right now so you guys can see some FPV. Okay, so now that the drone is turned on and bound with a control, now it's going to start putting out a Wi-Fi signal. So what you want to do is in your phone, you want to go to your settings, go to your Wi-Fi, and you're going to look for, there it is right there, AirFun, UFO, and then some letters and numbers. So go ahead and connect to that. It's going to disconnect from your home Wi-Fi, connect to that one. So if you do shut down the app, or if something happens, let's say you lose connection with the drone, always check that your phone isn't auto connecting back to your home Wi-Fi, because that means it's not going to work in the app. So let's go ahead and open up the Eachine app. If you guys want to look for that in the App Store, you just look for that name right there. And then when I hit play, I should see a live feed from the camera. And one thing I wish they did a little bit better is make the lights more obvious, because the lights are actually tucked inside these arms, and unless you're looking at it at just the right angle, it's really hard to tell. Usually when it's flying away, it's like this, and you can't really tell which direction the front is. Now, if you're flying in headless mode, that doesn't matter, but if you're just zipping around playing for fun, you might want to get some, like if you have neon tape or something you can tape either in the front or the back so you can tell which direction it's actually facing. And another really cool function that it has built in is the takeoff and landing. So if I go ahead and spin up the blades, and then if I press B, what's going to happen is it's going to come up to about 5 feet. It's going to stop at that altitude, and it's just going to hover there. Now, it doesn't have GPS, so if there is wind, it's going to drift. And if you want to land it again, just press B again, and it's going to go slowly land. And then once it touches ground, the motors are automatically going to turn off, which is pretty cool for a toy grade quadcopter. So that's my review on the E55. Pretty fun, a lot of features on this quadcopter, very unique design. If you guys are looking for something that's definitely apart from a lot of the other toy quadcopters, this thing definitely has it. And for a price that's not that bad. Video quality, not so great. The range on the Wi-Fi, I wish it could be a little bit better. But as far as the range goes from the transmitter, it's pretty good. I didn't really lose any reception, but I didn't take this thing too far away just because it's really hard to tell which direction it's pointed. But overall, really fun little toy quadcopter with a lot of features in it. If you guys do have any questions, please just leave them in the comments down below. And if you found the video helpful, I always appreciate those thumbs up. Thanks guys, bye.